Hey, thanks for stopping by. This video is for you, the veteran. I'm going to show you a couple things that have changed in 2020, why you should be going for a veteran's loan if you are a veteran. And if you stick around, I'm going to show you a little known secret on how you can keep a home after you've already used your entitlement on your first home and maybe keep that home as well. All that and more. Okay, let's get into it. Just real quick, I'm a veteran myself, U.S. Navy. I'm also a realtor, so I do know a thing or two about veterans loans. I was also a New York City firefighter, and I'm also a cop. So I got to kind of cover that whole military type of thing going. So as a realtor, I know some stuff about, and I'm here to share it with you, because if you're not taking advantage of a VA loan at this point and you're a veteran, you're missing out. Okay, let's compare the VA loan compared to an FHA or a conventional loan. With a VA loan, nothing down, 0%. And that's phenomenal. Basically, you don't have to pay PMI. And if you don't know what PMI is private mortgage insurance. If you put less than 20% down on a conventional loan, you pay your PMI. PMI is roughly around $30 to $70 per 100,000 that you take out, give or take. So you could be looking at a couple $100 a month in PMI until you get to 20%. So veterans, conventional, I think I'd stick with veterans. Now you have FHA also, 3 to 3.5% down, but you're still going to pay that PMI. So why pay a couple $100 more a month? So veterans is the way to go. How do you qualify as a veteran? Very simple. Honorable discharge or general discharge, you qualify. Less than honorable, unfortunately, you're not going to get it. Okay, so you have the background to pass. You need a certificate of eligibility. You need to find, the very first step is you need to find somebody to deal with. You can go to your local bank. You can go to a mortgage broker. My personal experience and what I do is I go to a mortgage broker. I have some that I work with that I really like. They're very trustworthy. If you could find one, it's great, because they'll shop around, get you the best rate. A lot easier to work with. They do a lot of the legwork for you. When you work with a bank, it's a slower process sometimes. They're very strict in some of their guidelines, and it can be a pain to deal with. Going through a mortgage broker is my preferred way to do it, but you can do whatever you want to do. Ask around, get some recommendations. Can't go wrong with that. Rates vary wildly compared to all the different lenders, so lock in, get a good rate, because they can make a lot of money off you if you don't get the right rate. Okay, you find the perfect person for you. You find that mortgage broker or the bank, you start dealing with them. First step is you want to get a pre-approval. Pre-qualifications mean nothing. Get a pre-approval. You get a pre-approval, you're golden. Okay, you have your pre-approval. That gives you the means to go out and find that perfect home. Now, if their realtor did their job and they know what they're doing, they're going to list that house at the right price. They list that house at the right price, it's going to go that day. Me personally, when I list a house, I'll list it just under market value, and there'll be a bidding war on that first day. The seller is greedy, and they think, oh, let me put a 20, 30,000 above price and see if somebody bites. Nobody's going to bite. What's going to happen is they're going to wait for it to come down, and you're going to lose possible sale. If you price it at the right price, it'll be gone in a day. Like I said, you're sitting around with a pre-approval letter. You find that house, boom, you make that offer, you're in the money. You don't get that pre-approval, you get a pre-qualification. You're not going to be able to bid on that house. If you can't bid on that house, you're going to lose that house if it's priced right. So you get that pre-approval letter. You're off and running. Find a realtor that knows how to deal with VA loans, because there's a lot of little things later on that they need to be aware of that'll help the process go smoothly. Same thing with a lender. Find one that knows, that does VA loans. Part of the pre-approval process, have your documents in order. You can have your W-2s, your bank statements for probably 2 to 3 months, pay stubs, any other sources of income, your taxes for the last 2 years, your social security card, your driver's license. Get it all ready. Copies ready. Boom, check it out. You have an electronic format sent over to the broker, you're good to go. With the bank, it'll speed things up greatly. Now you know a price that you can work in. You need to know, not just do a mortgage calculation and say, if this house is $200,000, I'm going to pay $1,300 a month for that. It's not right, because you're going to have to pay the mortgage, the insurance, the taxes. It's all in one payment. And if you're looking around and you have an HOA, throw that on top of it. So now that $1,200 becomes $1,800 or $1,900 or $2,000. Know where you stand. Know what you can afford when you go out there and start looking. It'll save a lot of heartache for you and everyone else. Part of the process in getting the VA loan, probably need a copy of your DD-214, or they could just electronically file for it if you've been separated recently. It's a little easier, a little faster. If not, a copy of your DD-214, it's all done by them. With that copy, you'll get a certificate of eligibility, which will allow you to get that VA loan, and the process starts. Okay, one thing that's different in a VA loan from other loans is there is a VA funding fee. Now, that you can't get around, you're gonna have to pay it. Good news is that can be put into the mortgage. VA funding fee works like this. If it's your first home, you used to be 2.15%. In 2020, it went from 2.15 to 2.3%. Now that's if it's your first home, first VA home. If it's your second VA home, it went from 3.3% to 3.6%. But again, this goes into the loan, so you don't have to pay out of pocket. Who wants to pay out of pocket? Pay it off over 30 years. Why pay for it up front? What kind of credit score do you need to apply for that VA loan? Only 620. 620 or above, you're good to go, pretty much. I mean, they look at the whole credit picture. They look at if you're paying alimony, if you're getting child support. I mean, they look at every plus and minus. So basically, with that credit picture, if you're sitting around 620 and up, you're good to go. You could even get approved 550 and up, but you're going to pay a higher rate. So talk to your broker, talk to your bank. You'll figure that stuff out. But VA is pretty lenient on this, in this area. They're pretty good. If you're a disabled veteran or you've received the Purple Heart, your funding fee will be waived. The VA loan limits used to be at $184,300. It went up to about $510 and change this just recently. But you could actually go above that. You can go above $500,000, but you're going to have to pay a certain percentage above that. If you're married, you can apply for VA loan, put your wife on the loan if you want. She has additional income, you want to bring that in, no problem. Engaged, or if you have a living domestic partner for the last 6 years, it's not going to work. You need to either be married or your spouse has to be a veteran themselves. So veteran plus veteran, you're good to go. Veteran plus legally married spouse, you're good to go. Any other way, you're not good to go. One thing you'll need to know in a veteran's loan, and make sure your realtor knows that if they're not used to dealing with VA loans, you have to get that termite inspection. It could be also listed as a WDO, wood destroying organism.
Come on, let's kick some termites butt.
When you get that, which you have to have, and it's cheap, it's like $45 additional to the inspection. Get it done. You have to get it done or it's going to hold you back. Make sure that gets done. You don't want to get hit with it in the last few days of your, right before closing, and they say, where's this? And oh boy, next thing you know, your closing has been pushed back. One thing that slows you down with a veteran's loan is their appraisal process, a little bit different than a conventional loan. The VA pulls from a pool of appraisers. They'll go out and appraise your house. In my experience, this can usually take a week or so longer than getting a standard appraisal done. No big deal. Just that's what I'm saying. Make sure you're working with somebody that knows VA loans so it gets ordered right away. Try not to make a big purchase prior to your loan, whether you go with VA or anything. They kind of frown on that. I've done it myself. I've actually had a $600 car payment prior to buying the house that I'm in now. And what I did was I leased another car to try to get my price down, so I figured I would be approved for more. They didn't really like that too much. So the golden rule is no big purchases prior to closing. Just hold off on that. On your credit cards, this will help you credit immensely. Try to keep your debt, the ratio below like 10%. So if you have $1,000 credit limit on the card, try to keep it below $100 a month. That'll really help your credit out, and it helps the numbers too, and your debt to income ratio and all that. Really helps you. That pretty much covers most of the ins and outs of a VA loan. If you have any questions at all, post below. I'll probably answer it myself personally pretty quickly. If you like this video, if it helped you out, hit the subscribe button or the like button. I'd really appreciate that. Plus it shows me that I actually reached out to somebody and maybe helped them out a little bit. That's kind of what I'm going for here. I'm going to be doing more frequently. I'm going to be doing videos, and such as real estate videos. Also, I'm going to be reviewing different tech stuff. I really like that kind of stuff. So I'm going to really try to boost this page up a lot. So if you like and subscribe, that would be great, because it shows me again that you like what I'm showing you, and I appreciate it. So more to come. I'm going to have a lot more fun. It won't be as boring as this one. I have a little bit of an imagination, so stick around. You'll see. Oh, almost forgot my little secret that I didn't tell you. Okay, say you used your veterans loan on a home. Now, a lot of people think that you could take that you have to get rid of that home so you could buy another home. You owe $300,000 on your house. Now, you can't use that full entitlement on another home VA loan without putting money down. So how do you work around that? There's also one additional issue before I get to that. You can't do a simultaneous close. You can't sell your house and buy another house with a VA loan in a simultaneous close, meaning the same day. So it's gonna, because it takes at best 4 days to get a clearance to get your eligibility back. So those 4 days, you're gonna pile all your stuff in your house, all your junk, everything that's in that garage. You're gonna pile it into a pod or something, or storage, or a friend's house, and you're gonna live on your friend's couch for a few days, a week at least, and hoping that your next closing goes on time. How can you get around that? Or how about keeping your house and renting it out? That's one option. How do you do that without using up your VA entitlement? Refinance your home, your current home. Refinance it conventional if you can, if you have equity in there. Refinance it, maybe pull a little money out, rent that home out. Now you're good to go. You have 100% entitlement on your new house to use whatever you want with your VA loan, and you still have your original property. That's one way. Or refinance it, get your new home, rent it out a little bit, then sell it if you want. There's a couple of ways to work around that, but it's a lot more convenient than living on a couch and having all your stuff in a pod. Something to think about. It may work or may not. Hopefully we'll see you again soon, because a lot more videos coming your way. Good luck, and thank you for your service.